I'm Taylor Thomas with a CTV News Update. The Republican Party inches closer to control of the U.S. House of Representatives. After scoring congressional wins in Arizona, New York, and California, the GOP is one seat shy of 218 needed to take over the House. And while it appears the grand old party will meet that marker, Republicans' gains in Congress were far fewer than many on both sides expected. Add to that the race for governor in Arizona. Democratic Katie Hobbs has defeated Trump acolyte Carrie Lake, that is. We asked political analyst Dr. Alvin Thornton to weigh in on the election results.
I still think that Donald Trump, the Republicans ought to be mad as hell with Donald Trump, because I still think he is a counterweight on them. And the second thing was the abortion decision by the Supreme Court. I think white women, as we saw in Kansas and other places, went against Republican candidates because of that decision. That decision outlawing abortion as a fundamental national right of women. I think that hurt the Republican Party.
And the plot thickens as former President Donald Trump is expected to announce tonight his third run for the White House. Another pedestrian is struck and killed on a roadway in Prince George's County. The latest occurred last night near District Heights. Prince George's police were called to the 6500 block of Walker Mill Road around 7 p.m. When officers arrived, they found an unresponsive woman in the roadway. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. Meantime, police are working to identify the victim in a separate fatal hit-and-run crash in Greenbelt. On Saturday, the incident occurred near Kenilworth Avenue and Greenbelt Road. Anyone with information on either incident is asked to contact police. The Maryland General Assembly confirms that a former Prince George's lawmaker has passed away. Former Delegate Tawana Gaines reportedly died on Saturday. Although no other details have yet been released, the lawmaker represented District 22 in the Maryland House of Delegates from 2001 to 2019. She resigned in the face of federal corruption charges and was sentenced to 6 months in federal prison. Gaines also served as a council member and a mayor of Berwyn Heights. Governor-elect Wes Moore announces some key staff appointments. Fagan Harris will become Moore's chief of staff. The pair founded the social change organization Baltimore Coors in 2013. Fagan also has a local connection. He went to elementary school in Bowie.
Looking ahead, our current priority is to do everything we can to execute an inclusive and effective transition that surfaces the very best ideas from every corner of our state and build an administration that reflects the diversity and dynamism of Maryland. Doing that work will uplift families and every community while making Maryland more competitive.
Moore also named 4 other appointments. Helen Grady will become his budget secretary. Grady is currently the chief financial officer at Johns Hopkins University. Moore's campaign chief of staff, Tisha Edwards, will be his appointment secretary. Delegate Eric Ludke of Montgomery County will serve as a chief legislative officer, and Amanda LaForge will become his chief legal counsel. The U.S. Supreme Court declines to hear a challenge to a Maryland gun law. Masur Howling had appealed his 2019 felony conviction for gun possession by prohibited person. In the appeal, Howling said he was unaware that a nearly 20-year simple assault conviction in Pennsylvania barred him from possessing a firearm in Maryland. Howling was sentenced to a suspended term of 9 years in prison and 3 years of unsupervised probation. Carrying guns in or near places of public assembly will soon be against the law in Montgomery County. The County Council adopted the gun control measure unanimously today. County President Gabe Albaraz was there trying to do everything possible to minimize the number of weapons in the public area. Police and licensed security guards are exempt from new restrictions. And here are our latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health is reporting that 25 Marylanders died of COVID over the past 24 hours. There were more than 760 confirmed cases. The positivity rate in Prince George's is at 8.34%. 426 people are hospitalized. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Coming up, good news for commuters. You can now ride Metro from downtown Largo to Dulles International Airport. Details next. Stay with us.
We know what it's like to go to war. to bravely step forward and sacrifice for what you believe is right. We see those who are redefining what it means to serve, to be a patriot, a hero, and to save lives. From our nation's injured veterans to the faces of courage across America today, we see you, we support you, we salute you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Good evening and welcome back. The FBI has zeroed in on a person they say phoned in dozens of racially motivated bomb threats to HBCUs earlier this year. The feds did not name the suspect, but did say the individual was under the age of 18. A number of HBCUs in our area were targeted, including Bowie State and Howard University. The threats forced the cancellation of classes and put dorms on lockdown. The incidents occurred during February and March. No evidence of an actual bomb was found at any of the schools. Metro has cut the ribbon on the new and long-awaited Silver Line Phase 2 extension in Northern Virginia. The 11.5-mile rail extension has 6 stations, including one that takes you to Dulles International Airport. A number of local and national dignitaries attended today's ribbon-cutting ceremony, including Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who spoke about the milestone opening.
And so many people, either in their greatest adventures or in their everyday routines, count on the transportation in and around this airport, in and around this region. When the airport was first opened almost exactly 60 years ago today, President Kennedy said that the building symbolizes the aspirations of the United States. And I think the same can be said of the Silver Line today. Allowing people to affordably get to where they need to go, whether it is a baggage handler working at the airport or a federal employee, yes, commuting into the District of Columbia, or a software engineer working at the terrific tech employers who are here. So many will count on this and will benefit from it.
The first passengers boarded the trains at 2 this afternoon. And if you're wondering, a ride from Ashburn to Largo will take you 93 minutes. The Silver Line is Metro's largest expansion per mile since its creation back in 1976 at $6.8 billion. Meantime, a man was stabbed on a Metro bus in Prince George's in an alleged attempted robbery incident yesterday. The incident happened near Iverson Street and 23rd Parkway in Hillcrest Heights. The victim ended up getting off the bus and went to a parking lot at a nearby mall. The victim was hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. Metro police are still looking for the suspect. Walmart has announced an agreement to settle opioid lawsuits for $3.1 billion. The funds will be used to help state and local communities fighting the opioid crisis. Meantime, Governor Larry Hogan has an announcement of his own. He named 6 people to the State Opioid Restitution Fund Advisory Council. The council was established earlier this year to recommend how and where the funds will be spent. Maryland and 39 other states reached a settlement of nearly $392 million with Google. The settlement resolves an investigation into how the company tracked users' locations. It was sparked by a 2018 Associated Press story, which found that Google continued to track people's location data even after they opted out of the tracking feature. Maryland will receive nearly $9 million from the settlement. The Bowie community can now weigh in on the future of the old Bowie racetrack. The Bowie Racetrack Task Force, made up of 23 members, will come up with recommendations on how to utilize the property. City officials say due to state law, the more than 150-acre property can be used for recreational purposes only. Today, the task force launched an old line survey to get feedback on how residents want the property to be used.
It's some understanding about a wide range of types of activities, ball fields, picnic areas, passive recreation. There could be things involving horses. There's a whole list of things: indoor recreation, outdoor recreation, as well as other planned activities that are supervised. There's certain types of events or certain types of things that you could do. And so this survey has a particular question that goes into all of those uses, and then asks the person completing the survey to indicate whether they how they would prioritize those specific uses. So
the task force plans to give the City Council its final recommendations by July 1st of next year. The group's first community planning workshop is set for December 3rd at Bowie State University. To participate in the survey, visit the website right there on your screen. Sports news and more coming up next. Stay tuned.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
The Washington Commanders amazed the entire nation last night after getting a much-needed win against the Philadelphia Eagles, ending their perfect season. Washington controlled the ball for more than 38 minutes thanks to their great rushing attack. Both running backs, Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, scored touchdowns. Then add on Terry McLaurin's 128 yards receiving. This Commanders team was unstoppable. And the win came after an emotional week for the team. Head coach Ron Rivera lost his mother recently, and the team was sued by the D.C. Attorney General. After the game, Ron Rivera touched on how much this win means in the midst of all the adversity.
It means a lot just because the guys were able to stay focused on what's important. And what they did on the football field today was important. It means, it resonates with those guys. I mean, you hear them in the locker room right now, and the hard work is beginning to pay off. You know, things have turned the corner. That's starting to pay off. You know, our young guys are stepping up. Defo making the plays that he did. The guys on special teams, the young guys that play on special teams contribute making plays. I mean, Terry and those guys are unbelievable. And there's a lot of guys that deserve a lot of credit in that locker room.
Now this year we have a new U.S. soccer team headed into the World Cup, but for this team, the word new has many different meanings because this group of players has basically no World Cup experience. Goalkeeper Sean Johnson talks about that feeling.
You know, it's my first World Cup and just the excitement to be here. I know some of the guys are the same, and as guys start to trickle in, just integrating everybody into the group. I think, you know, as we get guys in and all get on the same page, I think we'll be exactly where we want to be.
The U.S. will battle the Wales national team on Monday, November 21st. Now, sticking with the new narrative, Capital City Go-Go GM Amber Nichols is a rising star in the sports world whose love and passion for the game of basketball has helped her accomplish so much at only 29 years old. In less than 5 years, Nichols is making a name for herself as a force in the basketball world, but she's not satisfied yet.
Honestly, just, being able to help people's lives and make their lives better in terms of, helping them be able to provide for their families by doing something that they love, help making them, better people, better teammates. All those things just kind of inspire me to want to be an NBA GM one day.
Her ultimate goal is to become a GM for an NBA team, but for now, she's doing a great job with the Go-Go. And tonight, they face off against the College Park Skyhawks at 7 p.m.
Let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, expect rain throughout the evening with a low around 42. Wednesday, the sunshine returns with highs near 52 degrees. Thursday and Friday, sunny with daytime temperatures near 46 degrees, a low, though, of 28. And now, that'll do it for tonight's wrap-up. I'm Taylor Thomas. See you tomorrow.